Have you been feeling like your art is just not good anymore? You keep on trying and practicing, but whatever you picture in your mind just isn't coming out onto the paper? Well then, this video is for you. Hey, it's Hersh, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can improve your art and grow as an artist. This video will be broken into 5 different segments and tips, so the timestamps will be below in the description, and yeah, let's get started. To start, take all of your most treasured art supplies, your favorite colored pencil brand, your extremely valuable marker brand, and throw all of that in the trash. No, just kidding. Don't throw it in the trash because it's probably very expensive. What I'm telling you to do is experiment using different art styles and mediums. Now, this could also mean using an art supply that you've never used before or one that you particularly hate. And trust me, you may hate yourself for doing this, but it actually helps a lot with coming out of your comfort zone and also will help in the long run. Something I see with a lot of beginner artists is that once they find something that they're comfortable with doing, such as drawing cartoon characters or anime characters, which there's nothing wrong with obviously, they focus solely on that. Now, even though there's nothing wrong with that, you will get burnt out eventually and your brain just needs something new and funky and fresh. For me personally, this meant that I had to try doing hyper-realism portraits. I've never been fond of realism type art, not because I hated how it looked or anything, but because it took so much time for me to make a piece that was even worth looking at. And so, when I forced myself to do this, it was literally a nightmare. And when I started out, it looked really bad. But then, once I kept on pushing myself to do it, my art actually improved a lot because I applied that I use in realism art to my art right now, and it actually helps a lot. Another tip that I have for you guys is to use references. This tip is mainly for beginner artists who still have not learned about proportions or anatomy that well and they just haven't mastered that concept yet. I think that references are great and that they really help strengthen your art, and I feel like a lot of people just kind of use excuses and say like, oh, this arm is wonky because it's my art style. Yeah, no. You actually have to learn how to do anatomy and how the human body actually works. And even if you don't draw humans, even if you draw like animals or something else, using references is still always great. Using references will improve your art a lot, and if you just want to get that extra boost and grow as an artist, then I suggest you do that. Finding the right reference is also a bit hard, but I suggest that you guys use Google or Pinterest and that you spend some quality time like searching for some good references, and don't always pick the same ones. Try and pick some references that have a bit of variety just to help widen your range of references. Another tip that I have for you guys is to do studies and focus on one thing at a time. By this, I don't mean try to tackle everything at once. If you think your art is just at a stop and it's not how you want it to be, it's possibly because you're setting your expectations of yourself way too high. Everyone is human and everyone has their flaws, so don't expect every single one of your pieces to come out perfectly, because no one's does. Even the famous artist Van Gogh or, I don't know, Claude Monet, they have pieces that they don't like too. And if you focus on one thing at a time, like drawing hands and then figuring out how to draw noses while doing studies and then taking what you learned and apply it to your new art, there is such a big difference. Something that this requires is dedication, and I don't mean doing a single doodle and then going back to doing whatever you like. I suggest that you fill out at least one spread in your sketchbook for each different part of your art style. So for me, I like drawing humans and anime characters, so what I suggest I do is I would take a look at different anime eyes and I'd experiment and draw them and then kind of draw them back in my style and in different ways as well, just to help improve them. And every time I do that, my hand is getting more memorized and it's memorizing the ways that I draw the eye, and this will help when you don't do studies and when you just go on to the drawing. Now, I know many of us have one or even multiple favorite artists that we admire. We strive to be like them and we want our art to look as good as theirs. Something I have for you guys to do is look at their art with a critical eye. See how they draw their eyes or how they draw their mouth and apply it to your own art. See some process videos. See if they have any tutorials for you to watch. Another thing I suggest you do is scroll down to their old feed and see if they have any, if they're on Instagram or if they're on YouTube. Scroll down to an old video of theirs, maybe even their first one, just to see how much they've improved. Hopefully you can see some big differences in their art and try looking more carefully, see exactly what they did to make their art look different. Say, for example, in the beginning, for my art, I didn't have any sense of anatomy in my art at all, and it was just the lines were really messy, and my liner was really I don't even know, it was just super messy. But now my art is a lot better, a lot cleaner, I hope. So yeah. Anyways, try to see how they improve their art and apply it to your own art. If their anatomy is significantly improved, that's probably because they did a lot of anatomy studies, so you should try doing it too. So don't push yourself too hard, but always strive to be better. The final tip that I have for you guys today is to practice consistently. Now, there's a big difference between forcing yourself to draw every day and drawing when you're comfortable. I suggest that you find time for yourself at least twice a week to sit down, unwind, and just practice. I think the whole draw every day and you'll be better thing is a lie because many people have done that in real life, and even if they do draw every day, it may just be a doodle or just a meaningless drawing, and that doesn't change anything. Drawing for longer periods of time, but only a couple times a week, will do much better, and it'll help you a lot in the long run. I feel like drawing for a longer time, but only a couple times a week, is a much better option because you can practice your skills and you're not also stressing out about not drawing every day. If you take 20 minutes to even 2 hours just to practice things like anatomy or facial expressions or clothing or shading photos or dynamic poses, anything, trust me, it will pay off in the long run. I know that you probably only want to draw like what you like, but doing this will make you a better artist in the end, and I feel like that's something that we all need to learn and do better. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you do try any of these tips, then I hope that they help you on your art journey. If you want any more of these advice type videos, then comment down below some ideas, and as always, have a wonderful day, stay hydrated, stay safe, and peace out.